So all you've got is your hands and your mind and your heart. So you do your best. You know,
And talent, obviously.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So Sobhita, same question. A journey from Vizag to
Oh, that's a
Venice.
TED talk. That's not a
Vizag
round
to
thing.
Hollywood.
It's been great.
Talk in Telugu, na, please.
Telugulo.
యాక్చువల్లీ
Without
నేను
the
పుట్టింది యాక్సెంట్ లేదు నా తెలిసి. నేను పుట్టింది తెనాలిలో, దట్స్ మై మమ్ సైడ్, అండ్ నేను పెరిగింది వైజాగ్లో, స్కూలింగ్ అంతా అక్కడే. దాని తర్వాత ఐ మూవ్ టు ముంబై ఫర్ మై కాలేజ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, అండ్ దాని తర్వాత ఐ ఎన్రోల్డ్ ఇన్ మాస్టర్స్ ఇన్ లా, అండ్ ఏంటో ఐ జస్ట్ ఫెల్ట్ లైక్ నేను మిస్ ఇండియాలో టేక్ పార్ట్ చేశాను, అండ్ ఐ వన్ దట్ ఇయర్. అండ్ నాకు ఒక క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉండేది దట్ ఓకే ఐ వాంట్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లోర్, ఐ డోంట్ నో దిస్ మచ్, బట్ సంథింగ్ అబౌట్ ద ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ నాకు ఒక క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉండేది. ఆల్దో ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ అ ప్లాన్ యాజ్ సచ్. ఐ ట్రైడ్ మై హ్యాండ్ అట్ మోడలింగ్, అది నాకు చాలా తృప్తి అనిపించలేదు, అండ్ ఐ డిస్కవర్డ్ యాక్టింగ్ త్రూ ఆడిషన్స్ అండ్ ఐ ఫెల్ ఇన్ లవ్ విత్ ఇట్. అండ్ మై ఫస్ట్ ఫిల్మ్ నాకు రమన్ రాఘవ్ అని అనురాగ్ కశ్యప్తో నాకు వచ్చిన ఫస్ట్ ఫిల్మ్, అండ్ అది నాకు చాలా మంచి ఇట్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్డ్ మీ టు 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 సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ పిక్ అప్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ దట్ మూవ్ మీ, దట్ మీన్స్ సంథింగ్ టు మీ ఆ జర్నీలో. అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ నా ఫస్ట్ మూవీ అయిన సంవత్సరానికి ఐ హ్యాపెన్ టు స్పీక్ టు శేష్, అండ్ గూఢచారి సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఫెల్ ఇన్ టు ప్లేస్. అండ్ ఆ మూవీ చేస్తున్న టైంలో ఐ సా శేష్ obsess over Sandeep Unnikrishnan. He was just a person that he was just tripping on. And there was no context, and I was like, oh, good for you.
అందరూ గుడ్ ఫర్ యూ.
కానీ దాని తర్వాత I think, you know, to see the project come together and to find the opportunity to be a part of it. అంటే ఒక తెలుగు అమ్మాయి అయి ఉండి ఒక తెలుగులో మూవీ చేయడంలో there is immense pleasure, and there is my parents enjoy it far more, you know, so I feel good about it. And obviously it's a story of the human spirit, not so much about, and he's actually somebody from Kerala. He's been through a bunch of places through the country, so I don't think he's really rooted to one place as much as his feet are on the ground, you know. It's like one foot in the clouds and one foot on the ground. He lived his life like that, and it's a privilege to play someone like Pramoda. So that's been my journey. I treasure it.
సార్ మీరు మేజర్ సినిమా చూసారు, వాట్ వాజ్ యువర్ రియాక్షన్ అనాలా, అంటే చాలా హౌ డు యూ ఫీల్, అంటే చాలా రొటీన్ గా ఉంటుంది కానీ.
Like I said, first I have to thank you and Anurag. ఎందుకంటే when you all came up to Namta and said Sesh has this idea of major, and so I admired their work before. I loved Gudachari. It was, I mean, it's just immense respect. And I didn't think even రెండో ఆలోచన కూడా లేదు, నువ్వు చెప్పంగానే ఓకే చేసేద్దాం, because I think it's probably the first time that I'm associated with a film where I'm not acting.
Correct.
So I don't know why I felt good about it so instantly. And after that, when I knew it was a film on Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, I felt really happy because I knew they were going to do justice for the film. But then I never really sat with them for discussions. I didn't know what was happening. You know it. I mean, you were sitting and talking to Namta, I think, more than anything else. So he met me when the trailer and the promo was ready, I think. It was somewhere before the second lockdown, if I'm not.
అవును సార్, యాక్చువల్గా మనం ఫస్ట్
This was in March.
Yeah.
if I'm not- Yeah.
డిస్కషన్ అయింది సార్.
So that's when he showed me the trailer of the film. I think the teaser. Yeah. That's when I knew that, you know, we were making something really nice. And I was really happy. And then we all went into a lockdown again. And so then I was immersed with my own film. I really didn't know what was happening with you all. So everything was getting delayed for all of us. And then, so when I saw the film for the first time, so I knew you guys were making it. But then at the same time, I was a little nervous because it's a very responsible film, what we were making. So it's a biopic. It's a very important film, what we were making. At the same time, we need to entertain the people. So that was my only, I was a little, because this is the first time I'm watching the film, you know, so. And then I saw the film, and I mean, I was amazed, first of all, in the kind of budgets you all had to make a film like that. It blew my mind. The responsibility was there. You know, making a biopic is not easy. And really, hats off to these guys. The girls.
And I think one of the biggest pressure
I
mark.
mean, అమ్మాయిల గురించి మాట్లాడుతుంటే ఇంటర్ఫియర్
Sorry,
అవుతుంది.
sir.
వాళ్ళ గురించి మాట్లాడాలి. I mean, so I thought they were really amazing. They were in character and everything was looking perfect in the film. And especially the last half an hour of the film. I mean, I have to again speak about that film because that's when you know, something clicks in your mind that yes, they got it right. And that's when I came out, sat. I walked out, by the way, without saying anything to this guy. I don't know what was happening in this thing. Because after the film got over, I just walked out silently. And these guys came after 5 minutes, I think. So I sat quietly and I said, then I shook his hand. I said, you all made a good film. And then I think that's when he felt really good. So yeah, so making a film like that is not easy.
True.
So, making a biopic, you have to be true to it and you have to entertain your audience. So I think that's where they pulled it off. I mean, I sincerely wish Reveling Garu and Prakash Raj also were sitting here. Because I think once when Sesh was sitting there showing me the promo, he just told me that this is the story of the mother and the father. This is not my story. This is their story. This is Reveling Garu and Prakash Raj's story. So when I saw the film, it felt like that. When your heart goes out. And I thought they were absolutely brilliant in the film. They were just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
It's their story, actually.
Yeah.
It's like the screen time might not be much, but actually it's their story. And if the audience connect to that,
Yeah.
I mean, that hits your heart.
Correct.
And even when he launched the trailer, like when he said that when they were performing, he had tears in his eyes. He was absolutely right because there were moments when I was watching it, your throat just gets dry when you see it. Because I think that's the core point of the story.
A part of the reason that happened, I think, is also because we heard of all of Major Sandeep's life initially from Uncle and Auntie. I call her Amma now. And it just naturally, organically lent itself to this idea that the way they told us the story, we wanted them to tell the world. And that's how it just ended up becoming that same idea. And so many lines in the film are literally Telugu translations or Hindi translations of what Uncle told me in English. ఒక మూమెంట్లో ఆయనకు అంత దేశభక్త అని నేను మేజర్ సందీప్ గురించి అడిగితే దేశభక్త అని అడిగారు. లిసన్, బార్డర్లో ఆర్మీ ఎలా ఫైట్ చేయాలి, ఇండియా క్రికెట్ మ్యాచ్ ఎలా గెలవాలి, ఇవన్నీ అందరికీ ఉంటాయి, అందరికీ దేశభక్తి ఉంటుంది. మై సన్ వాజ్ బియాండ్ దట్. He thought soldiers are the ones who protect these people who have deshbhakti. That's all నించింది అది. So that became the entire drive for the teaser's dialogues. This word-to-word conversation became the teaser. And అందులో వచ్చిన question, what does it mean to be a soldier అన్నది, that answer became Jaan Dunga Deshni. The idea that you can take everything from me, you can take my last breath, you can take my energy, you can take everything from me, but no matter what, the country stays, the country is safe, the fabric of the country remains. That Major Sandeep lived his life in that philosophy from when he was a child. He wanted to be in the Navy originally. They rejected him because of his eyesight. కళ్ళద్దాలు ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇమీడియట్లీ హీడ్ అప్లై టు ది ఆర్మీ. ఇదంతా కూడా అంకుల్ అండ్ ఆంటీకి తెలియకుండా అనమాట. సో దిస్ మ్యాన్ అండ్ హీ జోక్ విత్ దమ్, నాకు తొందరగా పెళ్లి చేసే మళ్ళీ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాను తెలియదు. దట్స్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ జోక్స్ హీ వుడ్ క్రాక్. అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ దిస్ లవ్లీ పర్స్ థింగ్ ఇన్ ద ఫిల్మ్ that came from Auntie's real experience, except it was with her cold cream box. Cold cream box మనకు అర్థం కాకపోతే జ్యువెలరీ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ బట్ కోల్డ్ క్రీమ్ బాక్స్ ప్రతిసారి వెన్ ఎవర్ మేజర్ సందీప్ వుడ్ బి విజిటింగ్ ఇట్ వుడ్ గో మిస్సింగ్ అండ్ ఆంటీకి అర్థమేది కాదు. అండ్ ఆయన ఆఫ్టర్ హీ వాజ్ గాన్ ఆయన బిలాంగింగ్స్ అన్ని ఆర్మీ వాళ్ళు ఇంటికి తెచ్చారు. అండ్ షీ ఫౌండ్ లైక్ 10 boxes. Ultimately this film is about how he lived.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it's what's most amazing to me is that ordinary people, when they're put in extraordinary situations, how they react, you know, makes them immortal or not. So I think like Major Sandeep Punnikrishnan was like anybody else, you know, but oka crisis vachinappudu aa crisis lo the capacity, the human capacity to be selfless, that's extraordinary. Adi it's not an instinct that's very natural to most. Adi naaku chala, I find it amazing, and that's why he must be celebrated so much.
The way people just started coming together on this film. అంటే సార్ ఇట్స్ ఐ ఓపెన్లీ సే ఇట్, మీరు నమ్రత గారు యూ ట్రస్టెడ్ us బిఫోర్ వి టోల్డ్ యువర్ స్క్రిప్ట్. ఎందుకంటే మా కళలో ప్యాషన్ కానివ్వండి, మాటల్లో ఫీలింగ్ కానివ్వండి, నమ్మారు. అనురాగ్ శరత్ ట్రస్టెడ్ మీ బిఫోర్ ఐ ఫినిష్ మై సెంటెన్స్. And then Sony came on board and announced the project before they'd heard a script, which they've never done. They've never done that before. All of this because it's just some faith in how we are thinking about this.
When you believe in